And I remember when I was probably about 12, and I'm 5'9", and I remember getting on, and there was one scale, and it was in my parents' bathroom. And I remember getting on the scale when I was about 12. I don't think I was 13 yet. And seeing that I weighed 124, and I freaked out that my mom's going to be mad at me. I weighed 124 pounds.
And that is creativity, when you can see, the beauty in dark corners. Like, it's an opportunity to where you can write about it.
Well, you're already cracking me up. So obviously actor, comedian.
Yes.
Have you always been funny?
I was always in trouble.
So that was a natural
I guess it
motivation or inspiration.
I guess it was. I don't know. I know I've always been, I always like to have fun. I didn't necessarily know I was funny. I always thought people were laughing at me and not with me. So now I'm okay with you laughing at me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as they're laughing.
As long as you're laughing, as long as I'm making you feel something.
Then that's good. Welcome to Let's Talk, ladies. Conversations across generations. I'm MB Roberts, an author and journalist, and this is a podcast where we talk to women from their 20s to their 90s about a bunch of hot topics. We ask questions, share experiences, and learn from each other. And it's not just about older women giving advice. We want to know what younger women are thinking too. So let's get talking. We're so excited to kick off our 5th season of Let's Talk, ladies. Conversations across generations. We're really excited. We never run out of things to talk about. And this season, we have truly fantastic guests. We've got the Reverend Becca Stevens, who founded Thistle Farms in Nashville, and she's one of the leading advocates for justice for women in the whole world. She is wonderful to talk to. We'll talk to Grammy Award nominated singer-songwriter and writer Allison Moorer, and I was absolutely blown away by my conversation with author, actress, and entrepreneur Unit Zappa. What a cool conversation. Please tune in for that one. But before we launch season 5, let's look back at some highlights of season 4, which we always do. It's the perfect time to catch up and binge some of these episodes if you missed any. And I'm asking a huge favor. If you're binging or just listening to one episode, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. It really helps other women find the podcast, and frankly, it keeps us in business. So please do that for us. Regular listeners know our podcast is all about women of different generations comparing experiences. So we started with Food Network star Maneet Chauhan in season 4 before she became a hugely successful restaurateur and the 2-time winner of Tournament of Champions. She learned to toughen up in the kitchen, where she was frequently the only woman and the only person of color. She talked about being aware that women who follow her are watching. So let's listen to Maneet.
As a female, there are a couple of things that you really want. Maybe you want a family, maybe you want, you want kids, you want a partner, you want all of that. And I think at that time, you realize that the weight that you carry is exponentially more than a male chef. And
eyes are on you, or
Yeah.
you're representing your
Yes,
people.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that it does. If you show you can do it as a female chef, I think you set an example for the next generation to follow and see you. If you can
Yes.
do it, so can I.
Yeah, Maneet made me feel like even I could cook something without burning down the house, which reminds me, in the episode with our guest and Living Ageless and Bold podcast host, Christina Daves, she used just that phrase when she was talking about reinventing yourself at any age without burning everything down. You can take a more natural segue. I was intrigued then when that continued with Worth Beauty founder Michelle Probst. She schooled me about reinvention for women over 50. She prefers the word pivot. Take what you know and use it as a shift to something new. I really love that. And another theme that emerged this season was strength. I loved talking to adaptive athlete Amy Bream about how she became a CrossFit champ despite being born with PFFD, which means she was missing part of a leg. Here's Amy.
At that time, I was think I was like 24, 25. It's like, what else have I said no to that was really just fear rather than actual physical limitation?
I don't think Amy knows how to whine. It's not in her vocabulary. I mean, besides strength, we talked about body image and when it became normal for women to lift weights, which is really, I think it's in my lifetime. So that was super interesting to me. And then, to my delight, we kept that conversation going on the podcast with Sandy Knox, a hit songwriter and author of the audiobook Waiting, which I loved. Here's Sandy.
And I remember when I was probably about 12, and I'm 5'9", and I remember getting on, and there was one scale, and it was in my parents' bathroom. And I remember getting on the scale when I was about 12. I don't think I was 13 yet. And seeing that I weighed 124, and I freaked out that my mom's going to be mad at me. I weighed 124 pounds.
Conditional love. It's your fault. That topic comes up again and again for women. It definitely did during our chat with Lorraine McGuire, she was the VP at Nashville's Sexual Assault Center and shared some awesome tips for women to stay safe when they're out and about at bars. Surprisingly fun conversation. Have you heard of Spiky? It's a keychain that discreetly tests your drink if you suspect it's been spiked, and it was invented by a high school junior, a woman. So cool. So speaking of safe, we got tips for how to be safe and successful online from digital guru Jenny Smythe. She's the founder of Guerrilla Marketing, and we heard from another marketing pro, Kathy Devine, whose dream of being a songwriter came true when she turned 60 and was then partnered with a woman in her 20s and a woman in her 30s, and they wrote a song together. Okay, thanks, gals, for being the perfect hook of this podcast. Being in Nashville, I meet a lot of songwriters, and one of my absolute favorites is singer-songwriter Emily West. She joined me to talk about creativity. Here's Emily.
And that is creativity, when you can see, the beauty in dark corners. Like, it's an opportunity to where you can write about it.
Loved that. Then we talked about perspectives with Pam Lewis. She's the founder of Play Media, who launched Garth Brooks and other artists, and who's learned a thing or two about what matters when you want to call yourself successful. Then we talked with author Theo Boyd, who shared the incredibly painful story of losing both her parents and how women can cope with grief at any age. Then we took a left turn and talked about what's funny with comedian, actress, and teacher CJ Walton. Here's CJ. Well, you're already cracking me up. So obviously actor, comedian.
Yes.
Have you always been funny?
I was always in trouble.
So that was a natural
I guess it was
motivation or inspiration.
I guess it was. I don't know. I know I've always been, I always like to have fun. I didn't necessarily know I was funny. I always thought people were laughing at me and not with me. So now I'm okay with you laughing at me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as they're laughing.
Well, as long as you're laughing, as long as I'm making you feel something.
Then that's good. And this isn't funny at all, but anybody looking for a job? So many of us are. And we pulled the most practical tips from career guru Kimberly Stephan Tate from Tate of Mind Consulting that you can use if you're just getting into the job force or if you were recently laid off after 30 years with the same company. Wow. So much. And we hope you check out these great conversations. By the way, the podcast comes together with the help of several good friends and awesome pros. Katie Neal, we miss you as co-host. Darn you and your busy boss woman job. Thanks to Amy Reed for sound editing, graphics, and always great ideas. Our PR rep is Melissa Matthews, and we record most of our episodes at We Own This Town studio. Thank you, Michael Eads, for putting up with us. And thanks so much to Stephen Pender at Honeypod Studio for final editing and posting. You do a great job. So we're ready. We're ready to keep talking in season 5.